All right, what is up? Metal Gets Me High, episode 21. Me, Al, co-host Brad and Razor, and we have a very special guest. We have Shawn the Butcher of Sirius XM. What's up, man?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I get it now. Music gets me high. It makes or is it metal gets me high.
Metal gets me high. But you know, I know we use metal gets me high, but really we mean heavy music, punk, hardcore. It's all the same to us, you know.
Lost Boys have a song called "Music Gets Me High." Great hip hop group. If you're into hip hop,
you know, I'm always down to check something new out, so I'll definitely check that out.
Pleasure to meet you guys. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome,
dude. Thank you. Too, honestly, like, so we used to commute an hour and a half each way, so we got a lot of Jose and Shawn the Butcher time a day. So, and you know, this is when we're 18, 19, kind of just starting to get into metal. So I feel like it was like not necessarily metal. We're all metal fans, but you know, like you showed me, I could think of certain bands. Like I remember when Nails' "You'll Never Be One of Us." That was a very important album in my getting into hardcore and other stuff. And so you and Jose, honestly, are big influences, and Josta for starting this podcast. So thank you, man.
That's incredible. So wait, I mean, immediately I could tell you like you're youngins, right? How old you're like babies, right? Like
we're all 26.
Yeah, we're all 26.
Yeah, you're making me feel old. I just celebrated my 39th birthday. So yeah.
Hey, man, happy birthday, man.
Yeah. Thank you. But that's like the generational thing that I see is that like people like lucky you get to grow up with liquid metal, having that as an outlet. I mean, back in my day, yeah, I remember. But before liquid metal, you know, the 89.5 SOU and 90.3 Nassau Community, 94.3 Hofstra, they all had these like 3-hour midnight to 3 a.m. like underground metal radio, and that's how I got my fix up until I discovered liquid metal. But yeah, like that.
Okay.
So I guess after tape trading, it was underground radio. After underground radio, now liquid metal and Spotify and yada yada, Apple Music and all that.
Bandcamp.
Yeah. But I feel like what we do on our channel is more. It's like more of a personal experience.
Agreed. And like I like a lot of the stuff. Like you guys, I could tell, you know, that like you and Jose probably like a lot of the same stuff. But then I see like your flavors where it's like, oh look,
flavors.
You know, like you play a little bit more of like the hardcore stuff, which, you know, I didn't know I liked that stuff.
Brocore, I get yelled at. Brocore, I play too much brocore. They tell me, yeah.
Well, I mean, shoot, I wouldn't call Undeath brocore, and that's
and I was just gonna say, Brad, I love the 200 stab wound shirt. And the Undeath hat, right?
Got to represent the tour that just got announced.
They just announced that tour like yesterday.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. We've caught Undeath this year on the Dying Fetus Chelsea Grin tour, and we've actually caught 200 twice this year. So we're pretty stoked about that. And even I don't know if you've heard of them, but they have an opening band called Phobophilic who put out a killer of an album. So that's
I see the name
tour
everywhere. I see the name everywhere. I haven't had a chance to check out the music yet, though.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely badass. That'll be on my year-end list.
Yeah, I have my iPhone notes of my year-end, or I mean, at least what I like for the year, and then when I get to the last week of December, I really lay the hammer down and figure out exactly what it is. A lot of EPs this year, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I've been more of an EP guy for the last couple of years. I just like that 4 or 5 song slap in the face of all good songs, and gotta put no sleeper tracks on or like ambient interludes or whatever. Like I just like when it's straight up bam like
straight up in your hands.
Yeah.
Well, I could see that too, because 2 of the things I see you play a lot is that Plague Years EP. You put me onto that one.
Detroit, Michigan,
which
they're opening up that Black Dahlia Murder show next month.
Yes, which I'm excited for them for that, and I want to see what's how that show is going to go. That's a very important show for our community, and
I want to go to that really bad.
Oh, dude, that'd be so sick to go to. Yeah. I've seen the aftermarket prices of those tickets. Like, whoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, there works some OT.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, Shawn, like, something I like to ask people to begin with is, how does metal get you high?
Man, I like to say it relaxes me like a lot of people do, but I feel like my brain is always like moving and thinking and and it's like it's annoying at times. And I feel like the metal kind of makes it, you know, feasible. I could do things, and I, instead of like sitting in silence, like I can't sit in a silent car and drive for like 45 minutes. I have to have music on to just quiet like the nonstop, like, oh, work, da 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 da, and like worrying and all that stuff. I feel like it's been everything to me forever. I mean, before it was metal, it was hip hop. For a while, it was grunge. It built up to metal and music. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I can't live without music when I started listening to music. But like, I mean, Green Day was the band. Green Day made me like, I want to be a musician. I want to play guitar. I want to be involved in music. Like, that made me like, I was a floundering, you know, 7th, 8th grader. And my dad's like, what are you doing with your life? Learn a trade, be an electrician. And I didn't know what I liked, and I was working in Stop and Shop, and I'm working in bagel stores, and I'm working here and there, and like I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. And then once I found music, like the fact I've been able to like live my life and make a life out of just doing what I did before Sirius, like talking to my friends and being like, check out Hatebreed, check out Vision of Disorder, and now like Jose puts my dumb ass on the air, and I get to like talk to all of North America and like just promote good music, because it can't always be, you know, it's not always going to be Judas Priest and Black Sabbath and Metallica and Slayer forever. There has to be like the Bubble Up and like the 200 Baboons and the Mastodons and the Gojiras and like the Lamb of Gods and the Slipknots and like and all the, you know, the Foreign Hands and the stuff that I like. So like I feel like I've ingrained myself in this so much. Like, it's not a job. It's just going out to shows. Like, I love concerts. The first concert I ever saw, I mean, that was what did it. That first show on my birthday, 1999, E-Town Concrete at the Starland Ballroom. Not the Starland Ballroom, at the Voodoo Lounge in Queens. My buddy Jeff Facci was the drummer of Full Blown Chaos. And I went to high school with him, and he's like, come to my show. And he kept asking me, and I was like afraid to go to shows because I had never been to a show. All I knew was like, you know, I'm going to go get hit and I'm going to die at a show, blah, 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 blah. So finally I was like, this is on my birthday. It's E-Town. I have to see, and I got to watch my buddy Jeff's band. And they opened the show, and it was packed from the first band on. It was packed, and the pit opened up, and it was like a brawl right in front of me, but I was like behind it all. So I wasn't getting my ass beat. And I was like, is this what this shit is? It was like the most danger I had ever seen in one spot in one time. But like a love, like a community kind of fucking thing. And I was like, you know what? Like, that was it. It was just show after show after show. And now, like, even like just going to concerts now, like I still get that same feeling when I'm at a good like hardcore show and there's like no barrier and no security and like
it's fucking nuts.
Just the experience, just being at a show and some crazy shit happens and you're there. You're sharing that moment, whether it's 200 people, whether it's 2,000 people. Like, I never want to miss a show and have it be like, you'll never believe what the fuck just happened. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, I tried. I used to try to make it out to everything. The pandemic ruined me. The pandemic got me very used to being right here in this box. I still go to shows. I'm not hitting 3 shows a week like I used to, but you know, the metal still gets me high in my living room, you know, and in my car. But you know, I'm going to Turnstile Monday. I just saw Knock Loose at the Barclays Center. It's the shows. I feel like the shows and the energy and the community and the cool, like meeting cool people like you guys and just everybody, just meeting so many good people. And I love everything about not even metal. I mean, metal, hip hop, just like music in general.
Yeah,
it calms me. It's like a Xanax without having to take a Xanax.
100%.
That's cool, man. And I think that, like, you know, what you say is absolutely right, because even us, we've only been doing this for 6 months, and like if you would have told me 2 years ago that we'd like talk to some of these, like the one so far that had me pinching myself that we've had was Blake Ibanez from Power Trip. I was like, dude, we're talking to a riff beast right here.
Yeah, straight up.
And like it's cool because everyone's just a normal person who likes this weird obscure stuff, and you really do feel a community thing, especially when you go to shows. It's like that's when it changed for me too. Like going to my first show, that was a Mayhem Fest where Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, and Mastodon was the main stage, and I was immediately sold. I was like, dude, like this is where I'm supposed to be. So I definitely get you with like going to your first show. You're like, this is okay. I get it now.
It changed my life. And then I mean, there was two moments that I like remember. It was getting into Metallica, later era Metallica, and my buddy Hyder, who did it all, who put me on the entire path to sitting in the seat right now, was like, you like Metallica? But it was Black Album. He's like, you like Black Album? He's like, man,
you got to check the other shit out.
Yeah, and then took me back, and I was like, at that time, I was into like grunge and Offspring and Nirvana, and Metallica kind of fit into all that, and I didn't know that I wanted something heavier. And then I heard Metallica heavier, and I was like, wow. And then I remember my buddy being like, soon you'll be listening to Pantera. And he showed me Pantera, and I'm like, this is too heavy. I'm not ready for this yet. It took a little while. And then, yeah, something clicked with Pantera. And then, now till this day, my favorite band, and then Sepultura and all that stuff. Like me and Jose, we meet at a point. Like we love and worship the same bands. And then like he goes one way and I go another way. But that's what's good about the mix and the blend is there's not, more hands help, make more variety on the channel, I believe.
Yeah, and we try to do that like in our normal work life. We work some normie jobs, and sometimes people will be like, hey, what's this the stuff you're listening to? And like we don't try to hit people over the head for the most part to start, where it's like, oh hey, check out this Gatecreeper song. It's always going to be like, hey, check out this Baroness song or this Clutch song, and then try to just get your claws in at first. So I definitely know what you mean, that like with metal there's so many different, like there's different sounds. It's not all the same, but it's grouped the same.
Unto Others, man.
Oh man,
that's a band right there.
I'm an undeath pig destroyer. Deicide. That's and then Unto Others just completely out of left field. And again, Baroness and Typo Negative and all these bands that like
fucking beast.
Yeah, they're so different, but I mean they're just so good. You can't just deny it but there's things people love that I don't care about, and I get it. Like it's the same way all the way around. But the styles, I pretty much I stick to like the hardcore side definitely, but occasionally when things pepper in like Unto Others and take over my entire life, that's another thing I love about this is like finding new bands. It's like discovering something new. It's like a new like puzzle, and like find out from certain people certain bands, and other people other bands. Like that's the cool, like unlocking those cool things is fun too.
That is
when you listen to them, it gives you that rush, like, oh shit, I just found something, so I know what you mean.
Like the most recent thing for me, and I've told this story plenty of times, is it was 200 Stab Wounds. I was sitting in my barber's shop just waiting to get a haircut, and I just decided to put on the song Tow Rope Around the Throat by them, and I felt like I got kicked in the stomach. I was like, what? Like, how has nobody ever riffed like these guys? And we've been sold ever since.
Man, I gotta say, the transition from Skin Milk to Tow Rope Around the Throat it's so damn good. It rivals
Postmortem, Raining Blood.
Dare I say that song to the next song, it is so seamless. That's one of the best two songs.
That's why I'm all about the young kids, the new kids.
Yeah, that's the new trend. It seems like is hardcore kids playing death metal, and Dude,
I'm all
I'm-
about it because that's two genres I love. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I love it. Like Undeath are the kings. I think that's like my album of the year. That Undeath.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's
Same.
like
Yeah,
from
we
front to
can't-
back. They're alive. They're just so much fun. They're such great dudes. Always smiling, always drinking, always partying, always in a good mood, no matter what. Flat tire, busted engine on the road, smiling, thumbs up. Like you
That
can't
sounds like
bring
my
those
kind of
dudes
people
down.
right there.
Yeah, like they're coming around to Long Island in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be with Suffocation and my boys in Internal Bleeding and Sanguisugabog.
Oh, love that.
Who I've never seen live. I've heard everything that you can hear about a band, and I've seen all the YouTube videos and whatnot. And I'm excited
All
they're
the
playing in
memes.
my tiny little bar in AMH. Yeah,
That's so sick.
Yeah,
And you know
can't
what
wait.
I love about that band is that I don't know if a lot of people know, but every single member in that band is not only in that badass band, but every single guy in that band is in an equally as badass band to go with it. So it's like,
Yeah.
dude, like I just can't imagine like the creative flow and energies that these guys possess being able to crank out, like 4 bands at once. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I have no idea how they do it.
Another band I've always loved that I think you give a lot of shine to, which is sick, was and I loved was when you had is the Acacia Strain. You guys had the "Hey Vincent, what band is that?" segment.
One of the best segments ever.
I
was one of my favorite
loved
segments.
that.
Yes,
Because him and Trevor Sternad have showed me so much metal that I would have never heard of if it wasn't for them. Like, unfortunately, when Trevor passed, I went back and listened to a lot of his podcasts, and I found out this album I've been spinning so much this year I would have never heard of, called "Been Caught Buttering" by Pungent Stench. I'm like, thank you, Trevor. Like I don't even know.
yeah, Trevor put me on to one of my favorite bands, Oxygen Destroyer.
They're super sick. Redefining
themed metal band. Yeah, if you're gonna get me, you're gonna get me with Godzilla metal, 1000%.
Oh yeah, we know Shawn loves Godzilla.
Yeah. I love anything Godzilla related. I could not believe because I just saw it in his list. He put his year-end list out. And I looked at it and I'm like, Oxygen Destroyer. I was like, no band would just coincidentally name themselves that. And I looked it up and I saw it's totally like, yeah, it's everything. If I would have made a death black metal album, it would have been that record.
That's it.
Shout out to Oxygen Destroyer, yeah. And Acacia Strain, I love Vincent. Vincent Bennett, one of the best dudes ever. I'll say it now. I'll say it forever. If you see an Acacia Strain out on the road, bring them dudes some snacks. They love some sweets. They love some treats. Vincent's one of the nicest dudes ever. They put on one of the greatest shows ever. I missed that segment, but it's radio. A lot of things happen and then they go away or whatever. But Acacia Strain are the best. And that was another album that hit me. I remember putting on Wormwood because I came into Acacia Strain late. I first got into them when right when I started working at Sirius. That Wormwood album just ended up on my desk one day, and I put it on and fucking beast. Beast is one of the greatest metal songs ever, and I remember that
it is.
hit me, and I was like, "This band, these are the dudes." And after that, I was at every Acacia show. I was bugging Vincent Bennett all the time at every show. Good dudes, all good dudes. Shout outs to Devin, shout outs to Kevin, and all those guys.
You know what? Speaking of you just going to shows, I know you've been to a crazy amount of shows. What's your favorite? What's the favorite piece of merch that you own? I know you got some. By the way, you have these shorts, these God's Hate shorts.
Love those
that
shorts.
I cannot get enough of, man.
I was gonna
Those
put them
things
on
are
actually.
hard.
They're usually my nighttime shorts. I mean, God's Hate is so like merch, like as in clothing, or merch as in like toy or whatever.
Whatever comes to mind.
I got the Metallica. I mean, it's right. You can't see shit, but right up there it's the Metallica and Justice for All Todd McFarlane concert set. And it's like you hit a button on it and it lights up and like it plays a clip of one. The shit don't work anymore, but I mean, there's so much. I got an empty beer bottle from when I interviewed Dave Brocky of Guar.
Shit.
He brought me on the bus and he opened up the couch and the couch had beer in it. He took a beer out of the couch. I gave it to me and I drank it. I never threw it out. It's in there. I save everything. I'm a hoarder. There's so many. I have bins of shirts at my parents' house.
I can't even imagine how many shirts you have.
There's stuff I can't get rid of. I made a blanket out of some of my old shirts. You can like send 28 shirts to some lady and she'll make a blanket out of the shirts. It's pretty gnarly, but at this rate, I'll have like 12 blankets. So I just got all these shirts I don't know what to do with. I got so much stuff, like it's ridiculous. My buddy just gave me a guitar signed by Korn, a 7-string Ivan. I walked into his house. He's like, "Here, take this," and I was like,
you know what this is?
Yeah, shout out to my. He's like, "I have one already," and he just handed it to me. Shout out to my man Vinny. I have just insane stuff. I couldn't even think of one. But like, yeah. Definitely this Metallica set. Old, Pantera tour shirts, those Gods Hate shorts. Yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff. I couldn't even.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
I
cool
like
that
to stay surrounded by all the stuff that I love. It makes me feel good.
I was just expecting maybe like a shirt or some shorts or maybe a hoodie but that's so cool that it's like you have that set, you have the beer bottle. That's something
I'm a
I didn't
hoarder.
expect. That's
I save everything. It's an OCD thing, definitely. I have a bowl I smoked with Phil Anselmo. Somewhere.
No way.
Somewhere, yeah.
I would have never.
That's a must keep right there.
Yeah, we were. It was the what is it? The Metal Masters, something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Where it was Phil and Scott Ian and everybody. Yeah, everybody. And somehow I got into the green room with Phil and Kerry King and all these dudes, and there was like 100 people in there, and I fucking smoking up and just next to Phil, and it's like, here, you want to hit this? Yeah. I save everything. I can't get rid of anything.
You put in a Ziploc bag. You're like, that's going away for the collection.
Yeah. I get the little comic book cases like Matt Cardona has, and just fill them up full of toys and shit. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love this stuff.
So, being that you've got the opportunity to talk to lots of cool people, who is the person or the band that like you were like, oh shit, like this isn't real? Who had you in that state the hardest, would you say?
I mean, most recently, 100% my career. Nothing's gonna top it. James Hetfield.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
That was it. And that was an accident. It was an accident. 3 people were supposed to do it. 3 people couldn't do it. I had just taken on the new role I was in. So technically, had I not taken on that role, I wasn't supposed to do it. It all came together, and they're like, I thought I was gonna get like Trujillo or whatever, which would be great, but I'm supposed to talk about Black Album. How am I gonna talk about Black Album with Trujillo?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, whatever, give me Kirk, give me Lars at least, because I know nobody's getting James. And the dude who, ran the studio and booked all the studio sessions, he's like, yeah, I got you for tomorrow with Hetfield. And I'm like,
you're a holy shit.
I'm like, you're not fucking with me, right? Like you're not playing with me. Yeah, that was crazy. I talked to him for exactly 15 minutes. I timed it on my phone because I knew I wouldn't get like 1 second more. It was ridiculous. My buddy, I was texting my buddies freaking out. My buddy Charlie's like, oh, ask him about the Virginia Tech game because they had just had the Enter Sandman thing where they set off the Richter scale or whatever. And I asked James about it, and we cut it up, and it went like viral. So I had a fucking viral Hetfield clip. It was just, that was it, man. Nothing else. Like, I used to be nervous before interviews. I was nervous as shit before the Hetfield interview, but now, like, not like everything is like, now I understand what it's like to just like chill the hell out and talk 1-on-1 or whatever, 1-on-4 with like whoever. Like, it's so much of an easier, like once you get to interview your hero, everything after that is like,
it's smooth sailing.
Yeah. I just got The Rock. The Rock's the next mother effer I want to be, astounded by, because that dude.
Gonna go interview him in the Iron Paradise.
Yeah. I love that dude. Like, I follow him. I love The Rock. That's the next guy I want to get. Like, that would make me blow my friggin' mind. That would be incredible. But yeah, definitely Hetfield. That's it. Hetfield's definitely been the biggest. Everyone else has kind of just been like a homie. Like when if I'm interviewing on Death, or if I'm interviewing Gate Creeper, or I'm interviewing Knock Loose, like I've just grown to like know these dudes, and just through playing the music and seeing them at shows and yada yada. Like it's rare that I get like a big celebrity or whatever. Like Eric Andre was cool. I did Eric Andre.
I saw that.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know he was a metalhead. I put on a lot of people onto the fact that he was a metalhead. Doing fun stuff like that, doing like weird, cool shit. I'm about to do something with Todd McFarlane, which is really cool.
Okay.
Like I'm looking very much forward to like doing newer, cooler, weirder things, because I want to expand from metal. Like I would love to do some hip hop interviews, talk to like some rap artists that I love, like dudes who I know. But yeah, who knows?
No, that's super cool to hear. And
what about you? So what was your biggest interview?
This one's pretty fucking big.
This one, I would say, our first
one.
one.
Don't say me. No, don't say me.
Dude, hold on. No, I was just I know this is kind of crazy. Before this all started, I was just talking to Al. I was like, man, I wasn't very nervous until I thought about it. I'm like, when I started listening to metal, I started with liquid metal. That's what really introduced me to everything. And you and Jose like have been there basically throughout my whole metal phase, and I was
that's
just
so awesome.
Holy shit! I'm like, I got a lot more nervous.
Cool, man. Well, no, Power Trip dude is way cooler than me. 100%.
No, yeah,
100%.
That was a pretty fucking awesome one. But like I said, just from the beginning, liquid metal, you and everybody have been there.
Very cool.
Yeah, so this is a pretty fucking big get for us, I would say, for me at least.
Nice. I appreciate that.
And all of it, like, one of the things why I want to do this, like, I mean, I don't know how obtainable the goal is, but somehow, man, like my favorite band of all time is Slipknot. I've got the original 9 members tattooed on me.
Wow.
So like, if I could talk to Corey one day, that's my bucket list right there. So
what about you, Brad?
I actually remember talking to, was it Mark and Garza from Suicide Silence at Aftershock one year. They actually signed my California's Finest pack, and we got to smoke one with them, which was really cool. So then we've ran into Rob Flynn at shows in the Bay Area, and then we recently kind of had like a little kick it session with the guys of 200 Stab Wounds outside of the venue in Oakland. So
that was a lot of fun.
Cool different things.
Yeah, Owl, just hop in the DMs, man. Just hop in the DMs and be like, Corey, throwing out a line. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the best way. I mean, that's the best way to start is ask.
That's how we've been doing it. And we've got people that like usually we schedule like 2 to 3 weeks, and it's crazy. Some of the Blake Ibanez one, that was just like, so we had someone they canceled, and I was like, you know what, like, screw it.
Let's just shoot for the stars.
Just see what happens.
Hey, you gotta shoot your shot, bro.
Yeah, and he was like, can we do it tomorrow? And I was like,
done.
Yeah, let's go, brother.
Good.
And that's been an eye-opening thing is like, really all you gotta do is ask. And mostly everybody I feel like are pretty cool dudes, and wanna talk about or nerd out on something they love that's part of their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been so fortunate with everybody being so cool. Like, we're a pretty new podcast. Like, we've just been really fortunate with everybody being so cool about it and being down to give their time. So it's kind of nuts.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Talking shit. It's very fun.
Exactly.
It is, and it's even cooler too once you see some of these guys. We go to a show and we're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? Remember you? So that's been a fun part of it.
Nothing better than being recognized by the bands you love.
Yeah, man. It's like, how did I even get to this point? So it's been fun, something like as a hobby for us, because at some point, like, being a fan just wasn't enough for me. And I'm like, well, I have no musical talent, so I can't really start a band. What can I do?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I could talk to people. And usually when you're a fan, it shows. And everybody we've had on and the people that we're going to continue to be on, we're fans of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm happy to be here. This is incredible, and I'm stoked that you guys said that you were happy about this interview. That means a lot.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Oh, hell yeah.
We appreciate you
The butcher.
talking to us.
Yeah, you guys rock. Yeah, man, it's fun doing the show. I mean, it's such a small part of all the other stuff that I like. Just the emails that got to get answered, and the other stuff that has to get done for like Turbo and for Faction and for Rock the Bells, and like doing the show is like my time to escape from work stuff and do fun stuff that just happens to also be work.
Yeah. How long have you been with Sirius for?
15
how did
years.
Okay,
Congrats,
how did that come
man.
about?
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
I just celebrated my 15-year longest job I've ever had. I can't even believe that it's been 15 years. It doesn't feel like it's been. But I went to audio college, a 9-month like crash course right by Union Square in Manhattan. It was IAR, Institute of Audio Research. And then after that, they let you pick an internship. I did an internship at Def Jam for like 3 months.
Oh shit, that's so dope.
It wasn't good. Jay-Z walked by once. That was the coolest thing ever. That was the closest I'll ever be to Jay-Z. But they stuck me in a closet and had me burning stacks of CDs for hours. Miserable.
Shit.
I did not enjoy it. And I was a big fan of Opie and Anthony when they were on WNEW.
Hell yeah.
And then they had switched to XM. My buddy was one of like the 150 people who had XM, and he knew I was looking for internships, and he's like, I'm listening to Opie and Anthony on XM. They just played a commercial. They're looking for interns. You should apply. I applied that day. 3 hours later, they called me. The next morning, I was in the office. They pitched me an intern gig. I interned for pretty much exactly a year. And then one day, 2 dudes quit, and they're like, you want to get hired? Do you want a job? You want a gig? And that was it. I was with XM. Right after that, there was the merger, the Sirius XM. We all thought we were going to get fired. Some people did. I somehow managed to keep my friggin' job. And then I was terrible on the Opie and Anthony show. Horrible. It was my first 2 years of radio. I didn't know what I was doing. The audio school I went to wasn't for radio. I just didn't. It was a completely alien territory to me. And then I just learned through failing horribly on air, live.
So you worked on the show?
Yeah, for 2 years.
How many? Because that was basically like the start of like comedians shooting the shit. Basically,
I mean,
how many times did you get shit on by somebody?
That man, I would be suicidal sometimes because of how bad that shit went. Like, I messed up so bad. Opie was
they
about
shit on people.
Opie wanted to go to a bit, and I played the bit before he went to it, and he didn't know. And they're like, "Don't even be here when he comes here because he doesn't even want." I so bad, but I had the opportunity to work with like Patrice O'Neal and Bill Burr.
Shit.
And
you
like,
were in the heydays of
before Bill Burr was the Bill Burr he is now.
Bill Burr, Patrice, the goat,
the god. I saw
Patrice.
He was performing once, and I asked for tickets. It was like the one thing I ever asked for. I'm like, yo, can I get some Patrice tickets? They're like, yeah. They put me at the foot of the stage, and I was like, I'm gonna die. He's gonna be like you, and they like rip me to pieces. The girl next to me was drunk as hell, and the second Patrice came out, like, I'm here, she's here, and Patrice is just talking over me to her for the entire night, and I was like, I'm like dodging a bullet, but I'm like watching it like go past me. It was beautiful.
You dodged the biggest bullet because I heard he is the greatest shit talker to ever walk this earth.
Out of all the comedians that were on the Opie and Anthony show, Patrice O'Neal was hands down my favorite comedian, my favorite person. Yeah, just one of the realest. I went to a Cloverfield premiere with the whole Opie and Anthony staff and Patrice. It wasn't a premiere. It was like a pre-showing for like dudes who were writing reviews in the newspaper or whatever. And Patrice talked through the whole movie, and there was a reviewer sitting next to him who was so mad at him, and he would just laugh at everything. Yeah, and I was like, I cannot believe I'm watching Cloverfield with fucking Patrice O'Neal. I'll never, ever, ever forget that as long as I live. There were some great times. There were some miserable times, but it was all learning. and all just getting better or trying to get better. You know, I still feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. I know the structure and I follow what my friends do as far as like what we do in our positions in the company, but like I watch, I learn, I mimic, I figure things out, I put my own little twist on it. And yeah, somehow it's got me 15 years with this goddamn company and they haven't fired me yet. So it's a miracle.
And they're promoting you, which is congratulations.
They promoted me the last, I think it's been a year. I think it's like, it was just around the year anniversary. And it's just been like new work, new bosses, new everything. And it's been a hell of a journey and just trying to keep it together because I do lose it very easily. Stressful situations just do not, I need to process them better. That's still something I'm learning how to do because when the shit hits the fan,
just fire the caca gun.
Yeah. I wish I had a real life caca gun to just make things a little better. Yeah. And that's what that's what matters to me the most out of all of this is the damn trivia show, because that's something that didn't exist. It was like a song, like it didn't exist. Me and Jose put our heads together and then it was something else. And then it turned to something else. And now it's this thing that wasn't there before. That's there now, that can't really function without us doing it. Like it relies on us. It has become this beast that like it's the best part of my week, and interacting with so many different people every single week from all over the country and just playing and having fun, and it's just like dicking off. But it's like,
I have to ask, man. So I've been listening to Into the Trivia Pit fucking every week for as long as I can remember.
Thank you.
And I'm sitting in my car just screaming the answer. These people are getting them wrong. I just gotta ask, how do you guys come up with the questions? Because some of them, they're pretty damn easy, and then some of them are like, what the
are
fuck
ridiculous.
Is
And it's funny. Jose has his bands that he favors, so he'll ask questions about those bands, and a lot of people, I'm like, no one's familiar with this band. But so in the beginning, we had one of our interns, my man Josh. He used to be in a band called Shitkill. I think he's in a band called Netherlands now. We had him, I think we gave him a list of bands and we're like, write us a bunch of questions about these bands, just simple questions or whatever. And we saved it in an Excel document, and he did a bunch. He did a medium, easy, and a hard section. And that's a list that Jose still till this day will work off of. And then we would do brainstorming sessions when Jose was in the office, back when life was normal 10 years ago, whatever, and Jose was still in New York. We would do these brainstorming sessions and just come up with questions, just shooting the shit, smoking, drinking, thinking of metal questions. What could be more fun? Until it wasn't fun anymore. And then Jose wasn't in New York and he was in LA, and then I wasn't in the office, and then whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't we have the listeners just send us the questions? And we opened up an email, and boom, it went from being my job to being everybody else's job. And right before the show, everybody knows that Jose will, if it's 2 weeks old, it's got to be at the top of the email. So like at 3:55, the emails will start rolling in, and Jose will open it up, and boom, like it's like live. It's live, like really, really. And that's so a lot of the questions now come from the audience. I used to do the prelims before the show. Now this dude Tom Jr. has made it his new job to do the prelims. That's one less thing I need to do. So I give the work to you guys, and I make it like, yay, like everybody's involved. But now
thank God.
It's one less thing I have to do. But it works. It works because somebody started the song mashups that I would have never like did a song. So like that's the new. It's great because the show is so unpredictable, and like the rules change, and like sometimes you got to get this many right. Sometimes fuck it, we'll do a couple more. Like
give them the lifeline.
If it's too easy for the contestant, you're like, no, we got to give them another one.
Yeah, like things don't matter, and that's the best part of it. So and not doing these mashups, like it's starting to get people. There's always like this new twist and this new thing and a new rule, and like. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it, and it's my baby. It's my baby. I can't believe we created something that people love. Like what else?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever wanted in my life. I couldn't be in a band. I sucked at instruments. Like make and create something and like keep it fresh and like do a new one as often as we can. Yeah, it's everything. Like, and that came out of nowhere. And shout out to Billy on the Street. That's where the idea came from. Billy Eichner. I was so into Billy on the Street. And yeah, we were thinking about we did a talk show and a trivia show. And then we just ditched the talk show and just kept the trivia show.
Yeah, man, it really shows that you guys like put everything into it. It's your guys' baby because it's so much fun. You guys are enthusiastic. Like it's like you said, it's ever evolving. All the questions and segments on it, it's always changing, and it really does keep it fun. So it shows.
You guys listening. Thank you. I appreciate you listening. Yeah.
These two guys have told me that I need to be on the show, and like I definitely know my metal, but I know the minute that like I'm on the phone and
the clock's
rolling,
ticking.
Yeah. You guys could play me fucking raining blood, and I'll be like, fuck.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know half the answers to these questions. Jose will ask an answer, and I'll just be like, "Are you sure about?" Yeah, I'm just like, I don't. Most of the time, I don't know the answers. Sometimes I do know the answer. When I do, I feel like I'm a goddamn genius. And it makes me feel like exactly. I'm so connected to the channel. I know by this time, like I know all this stuff. Even if I'm not a fan of it, I'm like, oh, I know this song. I've heard it a million times. Like,
yeah,
it's like that. And I like doing the riffs. And Jose doesn't know what the riffs are, but he always does. That music inside and out. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun. And I would love to do like, I don't know. I'd love to do it live or do it like with a crowd of people. We did it once for our 100th episode, but like,
have you thought about like going like to like maybe like a small venue and doing it live and doing something like that?
I would love to try and make that happen. I just got to work something out with Jose. That's we're across the country, so it's like damn near impossible. But I would love to do it live in one like the Sirius studios. That would be nuts. That would be nuts.
From Long Beach to Seal Beach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Well, who are some new artists right now that you enjoy?
Yeah, man. I mean, that new Callous Dow Boys. I'm blasting the new Callous Dow Boys. Escuela Grind is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
New album that comes out tonight. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's actually out in like a few minutes, right?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that,
out.
But I'm not looking forward to the new Slipknot, but I'm gonna listen to the new Slipknot.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Wait, let me hear. I have my.
When does it come out, Al?
Tonight, brother.
No way. 9 o'clock.
When we're done with this, it should be out.
Yeah, right. The new Fugitive EP. The new Fugitive EP is great.
Oh, the Fugitive EP goes fucking dumb.
That Raise the Dead cover. Oh.
Yeah. Wait, so who is that a cover of?
Bathory.
Oh, son of a bitch. I love that song. I did not. I got to tell Scotty so we could put it on the cover show.
Hell
yeah. Covers.
Yeah. What the hell? I mean, most of the stuff from the beginning of the year, just the Undeath, the Fit for an Autopsy, the Joshua Travis EP was great.
Hell yeah.
Cameron just dropped a new album last Friday, which is really good. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know who's putting out albums towards the end of the year, but I'm all about like Foreign Hands.
Okay.
And just mainly Undeath. I still want to check out 200 Stab Wounds. I don't know. I fall into these traps where I'll play stuff out the second I get it. And then like I just go back into listening to old stuff and listening to like MF Doom again and old Metallica and just like, I don't know. I overplay stuff. Yeah. And I just go back to what makes me comfortable. So, and most of the time, like lately, I haven't been really listening to much this past week just because like I've been working and having to concentrate. That's another thing. Like when I need to concentrate, I can't have anything. Like I need silence. But like when I'm like driving or whatever, it's a different type of concentrating. And that's when I could have music on. So yeah, this past week, I've been working in silence. It's been like a tomb in this living room.
Well, hey man, I'm glad you're getting the work done. You know, it shows in in your love for what you do. So I really appreciate that you're putting in all that work, because it really does show as somebody who's been listening for years.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, just finding bands and liking bands and meeting new people like that. Sonny from Hate 56.
Oh,
dude,
that guy does the Lord's work.
Yes, I
So,
love
like,
every video he posts, because
building a community like that through the music, and just like I was supposed to interview him. He was supposed to be at the Callis Dowboy show, and he got a goddamn flat tire.
Yep,
right before the show. I was talking to him, like I couldn't believe he was texting me back. Yeah, I got to see him at a show, and I'm like, all the shows I've been to, and I feel like we've had to pass each other at one point, and I got really onto him during the pandemic, but like, yeah, just that type of, and just building something like that, and something like, you know, all that community building and promoting bands. I find that's how I found out about a Squela Grind. That's how I find out when a band's on his radar. I'm like, oh, they're bubbling, like something's up with these guys. And he'll record any show, but I just feel like once he puts his stamp on it, it kind of gets some fire behind it. And
he's got a great following, super loyal. I had noticed as soon as he posts a video, the band that he posts, they like. Well, I keep pretty solid eye on that. Just their numbers just fly up. So yeah, he's a huge fucking win for the metal community.
Or heavy music. Have you by any chance seen the Harm's Way Running Man on one of his videos?
Oh, I mean, that's that Harm's that blew up right as the pandemic hit.
Yeah,
like
the Running Man.
end of March, because I remember I was stranded inside, and it was like the first couple weeks, and that shit was all over the internet, and I was like, what? And then somebody posted it's like the Harm's Way numbers, and it was like through the roof. And yeah, Sonny's just like that, like a moment like that, and it's just like the numbers go through the roof, and then people, you know, even through the goofiest means ever, find one of the dopest, heaviest bands, Harm's Way. Nobody fucks with Harm's Way.
The last album.
No. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. It is a friggin' masterpiece. And like, yeah, the Running Man thing, yeah, it was all like fun and games, but they will crush you live, just because it is such an incredible band, incredible music, such a heavy performance. But yeah, like all that, and then even like he did the Turnstile hometown record release show or whatever.
Yep.
And he's like, it's the most viewed thing on the site, and some kid watching Turnstile will then go on to find Madball, and then that'll open up a whole new thing. And you know, I'm trying to do that on Liquid, and just like find new bands. And like, I love when I play a band and somebody's like, this is my new favorite band ever. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's incredible. Go see them. Yeah. Go stay, you know, where you heard them and who was playing them. And they'll come up to me all the time, but they're like, everywhere we go, people are like, Shawn's playing your shit on Liquid Metal a lot. And I'm like, that's what's up. And the word has to spread, because a lot of times these bands don't even know until people start texting them pictures and shit. Because I don't know, there's like sound scan numbers, and I don't know how they follow all that stuff. But yeah, a lot of these bands, like, they don't even know they're being represented half the time. And it's good that they know that we are representing for them. And that's what I love to do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys are the only, in my opinion, like the only, I guess, media, so to speak, for metal. I feel like there's nothing as big as you guys, or like anyone necessarily like trying to do that kind of thing at that kind of level. So I mean, I love that you guys do that. That's the best. Is I can't tell you how much I love finding something new where I'm like, how the fuck did I not know about this?
And that's so, I mean, social media is everything to me, because that's where I'll see that's 200 stab wounds, like whatever. I will see a name over and over and over and over and over. And even if I haven't heard the song, I'll just see it on people's like tweets or whatever, Hate 56 or whatever. And that's what'll put something on my radar. And then 90% of the time, it just needs to be the right time for me to hear it, because I'm getting I'll get DM'd all day with like, play my demo, play my song, play my band, play my demo. And I'm just like, I want to be nice, but most of the time it's like, I can't like, there has to be designated times where I could listen to everything. And that's not always a possibility. So, you know, something has to show up at the right time and the right place and sound good enough to me to push it on to Jose. And like, just, it's got to work for everybody. You can't, I can't just like throw whatever on, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like everything I throw on has some power behind it and has some real force behind it.
Definitely has power.
Yeah, I feel like you can hear the difference between songs that I'm adding and songs that Jose's adding and Ian and Scotty. Like,
there's a flavor. There's a flavor there, and you can tell. I lean toward the spicier side of things, so you're my flavor on that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But I mean, again, like bands like Unto Others, like that's something that comes out of left field and becomes an obsession. All I want to do is hang out with Unto Others, and like,
but they're heavy too, you know. Like even though they've got like clean vocals and have maybe like a not so heavy vibe, like the riffs are there. He doesn't just sing. There's the screams. Like it's
I
heavy
think
still.
all the lyrics are very like quite satanic and downtrodden and like very like really downer stuff. But it's kind of like an up tempo, like toe tapping kind of riff. And like everything is very fresh, and that's what I'm looking for, especially right now.
Something like if Turnstile met Typo.
Yeah. And that's another band like Typo. Yeah, like I didn't even pick up that there was like Typo influence in Unto Others, and I was playing it in my car, and my buddy Capozzi from Lost Becomes, he's like, "What is this? It sounds like Typo." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "This is Unto Others," and I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, "Oh man, it does sound like Typo." It didn't even hit me until somebody brought it to my attention, and I mean, they literally go, "Hooah!"
Yeah,
which is a very Typo negative thing to do. But yeah, I love Unto Others. I want to watch them. They're opening for Behemoth and Arch Enemy and Napalm. I want to see Behemoth and Napalm and Arch Enemy opening up for them. That's I want to see that happen eventually.
You know, here's the one that I kind of saw as an influence. Maybe it's just me. Have you ever heard of Him? I get a little bit of Him in there.
That's the band Margera.
It gives me a little bit of Him vibes where I'm like, okay, like I can see that. I
didn't listen to a lot of Him. I just know it through Bam. Yeah, it gives me like the Cure vibes, like a Robert Smith kind of thing. Because I was listening right before I was getting into Unto Others. I was like, I'll have just phases where I'm blasting the Crow soundtrack, and it's one of my favorite soundtracks. And there's like a lot of like that new wave gothy stuff on there, and I'm like, this Unto Others would fit right on this Pro soundtrack. It fits that downtrodden gothy kind of vibe.
Okay, I agree. I literally just because I had heard the singles you guys play on Liquid Metal. I checked the album out yesterday for the first time, so I was like, okay, I get it now. Hearing the whole entire thing.
It took a while. It took 6 months. I didn't get it for 6 months. And then in the shower, I'm singing choruses and I'm making lunch and I'm singing verses. And it's like, these bastards, they got me.
It's in your head now.
And that's every chorus. Like this dude is a chorus writing machine. On the previous EPs, on the previous albums, like there is something on every one of them that grabs me and pulls me in. I have like a 7-song playlist, and I've been listening to those 7 songs for months now. It's ridiculous the loop that I have listened to these songs on, but they're just so good and so catchy. Like they never get boring. They never get tired.
Yeah, they're solid. They haven't strayed me wrong yet. Everything that they have is fucking.
What about you guys? What's some of your favorites of the year?
Dude, you got Undeath, obviously. One of my favorite albums. I don't know if you have any time to check it out, but I would highly recommend the new Tribal Gaze album, the 9 Choirs. The amount of riffs on that album just doesn't even make sense. That's real. The Phobophilic. There's this black metal band called Gurea that just put put out something super sweet. So I've been digging that. And then
Seraphic Punishment by Maul.
Yeah, Maul. That's a great album.
Maul is the band, MAUL.
Yeah,
MAUL, man. Yeah, that whole album goes crazy.
Another EP that I really like. It's the singer from Sanguis Sugarbog, Devin. He has a side project called Tomb Sentinel. They put out a EP this year. One of my favorites, man.
Okay.
That's a super dope one.
Yeah.
That's what I've been
Man, you know what? Sentient Horror. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're from
they're New Jersey band.
They're a New Jersey band.
Horror?
Yeah.
Sentient Horror.
Super entombed, like worship type music.
It's fucking hard. Yeah, there's so many bands.
Vomit Forth.
Vomit Forth. I was listening to that new Vomit Forth, right? Yep. I heard that.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask you about, because so me and Brad have been sitting on Rage Against the Machine tickets since January of 2020, and they don't hit our neck of the woods until April. March. Okay, sorry, March or 2023. April, yeah, it's coming up for us. We saw that you saw them. Can you tell us about that, man? Because
worth it. Go. We had the worst seats in the house. Didn't even matter. You're right there. Zach doesn't have to get up. He doesn't have to walk around. He doesn't have to do a goddamn thing. He piggybacked on the security guard's back, getting up the stairs, sat his ass down on the speaker, gave him a mic, and he's got one good foot, and he's up there with his one foot, stomping the living shit out of it.
Dude, not giving a shit.
Sounds so good. Just you want to talk about reunions? This reunion matters like none other.
Agreed.
All the dudes are there. They sound tight as ever. I mean, the world is in shambles. It's just what everybody needs right now. And I'm so happy it finally happened. Go. Wait till March. Wait till May.
We're waiting, dude.
I can't wait till. I hope they come back. I hope they write new music. I bought a damn shirt. It was just so good. Everybody in the audience is singing. Everybody knows why they're there. I had a buddy's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go. I'm like, I'll take your ticket. Give it to me. You're out here. People get bothered by the politics and whatnot. I'm like, he's not up on stage chanting. They play the songs, they play the hits. The music does the talking because this dude wrote these lyrics 25 years ago, and they hit harder now than they did then. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah.
So he doesn't have to say a word, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Because I'm excited. Like, that's one of my first heavier bands that I remember. I remember playing Tony Hawk and freaking Guerrilla Radio, and I'm like, what is this? I like this. And I remember, like, I could be a little bit of a hater sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So seeing Prophets of Rage, like, I thought it would scratch that itch for me. But to me, like, Zach's anger on the Vokes, that is the essence of Rage Against the Machine.
That's the rage.
It was cool.
Yeah, the Machine was Tom playing the fucking guitar.
Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, they killed it. Like, Be Real, Chuck D, it was cool. But it wasn't like what I was hoping it would be, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. And yeah, I mean, you know, Chuck D is a legend, and Be Real is a legend. But yeah, Zach is also a legend, and it's hard to fill them shoes. But you know, they tried. They were trying.
It's like sounded
with Audio
great.
Slave. They did good with Audio Slave.
Yes, I definitely agree.
But Rage, I mean, that's they're all alive. They're all alive, and they're all playing music right now. Like, that is key. That is key because a lot of bands don't have that. You know. So,
yeah, I mean, look at the Pantera thing. That's kind of a weird one. You know,
polarizing.
Yes, and you know, I'm gonna be there because I fucking love Pantera, but it is definitely like it had me contemplating things for a moment where I was like, but hey, I'm a fan.
I talked to my buddies who had never seen Pantera, and my buddies who have kids who want them to see Pantera. So you know, I'm happy that they're happy that they can do whatever they're gonna do. Will I go? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm on that fence where I'm like,
yeah.
I want to see
I'm
the
not
songs,
running to the ticket master to grab it. I might check it out. That's
the good thing is I feel like the people they brought in are people who care about the art. So I appreciate that. I think
it couldn't
Zach
have been
Wilde
anybody but Zach.
Yes.
And they got Zach. So like they got that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Rage. If I had to put who's probably gonna win in the return war, Rage or Pantera. I mean, I don't know if Pantera could do 5 back-to-back sold out nights at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, fuck no.
Insane.
This is weird. We got
went
3 nights here.
I went to night 1 and night 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everybody I know on Twitter who was going, I was like, I hate you guys. I want to go so bad. They're like, you were just here. I'm like, I want to go every single night. Yeah, and it would have been worth it. It would have been worth it.
We got floor tickets too, so I'm like, dude, I'm ready to just to be part of chaos.
Rage.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see them. They did a back-to-back 2 days, a Saturday and a Sunday, a hip hop festival, Rock the Bells, and it was Cypress and Wu-Tang and Rage Against the Machine and all these other acts. And I was able to see Rage back-to-back those 2 times. And I was like, if I never see them again, at least I have that. And then they came back and I had a ticket, and then my buddy moved and sold the ticket, and then I didn't have a ticket, and then my other buddy had a ticket, and a week before the show, he's like, you want this extra ticket? And I had another ticket come at me, and then like it was meant to be, and I'm so glad that I went, because shows lately have just been crazier than ever. Like the energy has been nuts. Like the Cavalera, Max and Igor playing Sepultura, that was one of the I could feel like the energy at that show, and that's rare. Like it used to be that way a lot more, but like where the whole room is amped and not one person is like with their arms crossed or whatever. Like everybody's waiting for this moment. Like you can't believe it's actually gonna happen. And like, yeah, with that, and then I went to a Turnstile show. Everybody in the crowd is singing every word, and it's like the crowd's louder than the band is, and like that shit is rare. Like
they have blown up.
We saw them open for Every Time I Die, and like now where they are, it's like, dude, they're hitting their stride, and I love it because is it like the heaviest stuff? No, but like you said earlier, it's gonna bring people. Here's Madball, here's Agnostic Front, Hatebreed, yeah,
and then branch off into more stuff, yeah. But I just feel like the energy lately has been crazy, and the energy at the Rage show was nuts. And I'm loving that they are still doing what they're doing. I'm hoping way more from them, definitely.
Same here.
Hell yeah.
We don't want to take up too much of your time.
All good. I'm here.
I gotta ask one more thing. Hold on. Man, I gotta know, what's your favorite method of smoking? I'm over here ripping a bong the whole time. What do you like smoking out of? I know you indulge. You guys got the 420 segment.
Gotta be a joint.
No, it's my one hitter. My one hitter is
I'm a pipe guy too.
I carry it like it's my child. It's so like ridiculous. I used to smoke full blunts before walking into work at like Stop and Shop. If I smoked a full blunt now, I would drop dead on the spot. I could not handle that. Like, it's ridiculous. I'll even with a joint, I'll smoke half a joint. I'm like, I'm saving the rest for later, man. The one hitter has one hitter has like, it makes my tolerance like baby, little baby, whatever. And it's like I'll take one little hit, it'll hold me over, and it's just like I got my window, I could just chill. I got my computer. Like I didn't have this in my office, like. This is my office now. So like, my one hitter definitely, if not my one hitter, joints is the best. I haven't smoked a blunt. You kidding me? I smoke blunts with my Queens buddies. All my Queens buddies smoke blunts and blunt wraps. My buddy loves the grape blunt wrap. I'm like, dude,
I'm
That's a
flavorless
lot of
at least.
flavor.
Yeah,
I'm flavorless. Give me the silvers with no flavor.
Yeah, I do the raw. I like the raw. I got my buddy put me on because I've been rolling for 18 years. You figure I learned how to roll. I still can't roll worth a shit. My buddy's like, the hell with that. He put me on to the roller.
The raw roller.
I got the raw
Yeah.
roller. I got the raw tips. I got the raw paper. Spits out like a cigarette, and I'm like, yeah, like the raw. I wanna endorse, promote raw, whatever. I'll do whatever. I'll follow him on Instagram. I love that dude who runs the company, that weird
John.
hippie guy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're smoking watermelons full of joints and shit. Yeah, my one hitter, and right before this, I was with my buddy. I was eating some radizio. I had like 40 pounds of steak right before this, which was a wise idea. Dessert was the joint in the parking lot. So
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well,
My medication, it calms me.
Same here, man.
Yeah. Sorta.
So I've just got two more things.
Sure.
One is as someone like you've talked to a lot of bands, you know, you've been doing what you've been doing for a while. And obviously we're new. Like what advice could you give us you know, going forward?
Go everywhere, be everywhere, make friends with everyone. Being in the community but not communicating cancels itself out, kind of.
Okay.
You know, go out to as many shows as you can. Like you said, these dudes are dudes. You run into a gate creeper at a fucking tour, go right up to him, be like, yo, you want to do this thing? Like, whatever. Like, they're just regular guys. If you're looking for podcast people, if you're looking for how to build your I mean, I don't know, the brand building, it's so hard. It's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out. I still don't know.
If you're yourself and you keep it organic, it's gonna grow.
Yeah, just be you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be fake. Just be who you are and do what you're doing. But it's good to know people and share ideas and have a different perspective other than your own. It's great that you're a team of guys and not just like one or two people. But like, yeah, I mean, when I was young and hungry, just go to being out at every show, contacting the band is hard. What you want to do is find out who the publicist is, and you go through the publicist, and that's the correct way to do things. I'm a dick, and I'll go right to the band.
No, we do the same. We're too small to be going through publicists.
Yeah. The publicists hate when you go straight to the band because the publicists make the band schedule, and then you're like, oh, I'm doing this interview with the band, and the publicist doesn't know. It's a whole thing. Shout outs to all the publicists out there. They work super hard.
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, the publicists control everything for the most part. And but yeah, like just go and talk and you know, keep doing what you're doing and build and don't give a crap what anybody says about anything, no matter what you post, no matter what they say. Lame, terrible, you suck, quit now, you should die. Ignore everything and just focus on this and just go. Nothing else matters. Don't give a shit about anything else. Like, I mean, live your life and be happy and eat and don't forget to exercise and whatever. But like, but do what you want and focus on what you want and go out and get it. I admittedly do not tackle things as much as I should. I used to, but during the pandemic, my peace has become more of my, I don't know, clear thinking and clear being. But like, you know, like I said, I'm not hitting 3 shows a week. I might go to 1 show every 3 weeks or something. But if there's
about once a month
shows, like I have I have my curfew and I have my bedtime and I get my 8 hours and I do my thing and I kind of like my old man boring, lifestyle, but like I'm still going out doing stuff, but I'm just not hitting as many shows. But when I do, I'm gonna hit up. I want to see a band that I haven't seen before. That's my thing. I love breaking new bands. I want to get bands at the debut. I got Gatecreeper at the debut, Knock Loose at the debut. I want to get these bands so they know I'm ride or die from the start, not from like when they blew up.
Yeah.
And I would just chase people and ask labels and be like, yo, we do this. can we do this? And as long as you're not like creeps, and as long as you're not like weirdos and like punishers or whatever, be cool. I freaked out when I met John Baisley. Like, just stay calm, and you don't want word to spread that you guys are like whatever.
That's why I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, you don't get a reputation as a punisher, and you'll be fine. But be outgoing and make friends. When you go to these shows, you see the same motherfucker at every show you're going to. Say what up, what's your name, what you doing, whatever. Find out what they're into. They may do some shit that could bring a whole new perspective to this show, or be able to contribute, or just like hook you up with other people. Like, it's great to be part of the community, but yes, also communicate. I sometimes fade in the background, and I got buddies that are like, ask this guy to do this, and then I'll do it and I'll get it, but I wouldn't have done it had somebody not pulled me by the shirt to do it. So,
check out 200 stab wounds. I gotta say that, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a bit of a push. Exactly. And like, don't be afraid to go out and push yourself and do shit that you wouldn't really feel comfortable doing, maybe.
Okay.
That's good too. That's another thing Jose taught me, is throw yourself on the spot in a situation and work your way out of it. And like in doing interviews or do whatever, like unexpected, like go out on stage and it's like, what? Just go out, just go.
Better learn how to swim.
Just figure it out. Like being on air, I didn't know how to be on air, and he was like, go do some breaks, do whatever. And yeah, just don't be afraid to try stuff.
Okay.
And talk to people and meet people and be dedicated. That's all I've done, is just love what I'm doing and prove it and show it and work at it and work overtime at it and work exhaustingly at it. And even when I'm not working, making notes for how to make things better. Like, always keep notes about what you can do to make things better.
I know I've got a notebook and that's been a big change for us. Like our first couple of these, honestly, I was just like, well, I'm just talking, so I don't need to write anything. But now it's like, dude, like I need to know like this person's albums, and like, I need to know these things, and I need to put some time into it. So I write these questions. So I know what you mean. Like, as we've done this, I'm like, okay, like I need to do this, I need to do that. So
you learn and talk to people, talk to other people that do podcasts and learn from them and pick up little new things. And like photography, I would be at shows, and I'd see everybody taking photos. I got my tax return, I bought a camera, and then when I would interview a band, I'm like, let me do an interview and give me a photo pass. I'll take photos of the band. I'll put the interview on Liquid Metal. I'll post the photos to promote the interview, make a whole thing out of it. And then I started filming the videos, and then I made the website out of it. And then just like, you just branch off all these different things. But yeah, I was doing most of it alone, and that is horrible because it's best to have a teammate. Definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I could agree 100% on that.
And then the last thing I have for you, man, is if somebody comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, what's metal?" What is the album or the song that you're gonna point them to get the toes?
Yeah. Master of Puppets.
Okay.
Yes.
I like
that's my, when I say a band put out their Master of Puppets of albums, it's just this is their best. And I say that about everybody. Yeah, like I feel like it doesn't get old. I feel like it still holds up better than metal does now. It's just so, I think from front to back, it is the perfect record. It's heavy, it's fast, it's like classical, it's got like musicianship, Hetfield's right hand, Cliff Burton,
songwriting,
Hammett solos. Like, I feel like it's the perfect record. Yeah, for like old and new. I mean, Stranger Things said it all. Like they pump puppets and then boom, Metallica
Yes.
was somehow bigger than they already are. Like, how does
They
that
were
even
trending. They were like number one on Apple Music and trending on Twitter for like a week. It was insane.
Yeah. Puppets definitely, because it's digestible. I'm not going to throw on the bleeding from Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to throw on not even Cowboys from Hell. I think it's to like start someone off on a metal journey. I would go Master of Puppets. I'm like, start here. If you dig this, then, you know, see where it takes you, because, you know, just because you're a Metallica fan doesn't mean I like any other band that you listen to. Like, we could just have Metallica in common. But yeah, I think that would be a good start to the journey. But like, maybe Turnstile, Turnstile, but even that might be too like different. You know, it's got to be. I don't know. If somebody came up to me and said, "What's metal? What's a great place to start?" I would give him Puppets. If I could give him a couple of albums, like I give him Puppets, I give him Chaos AD from
Beautiful
Sepultura.
album.
Yes.
Man, I'd say either Dillinger, Calculating Infinity, or Slipknot, Self-Titled.
Great albums, both of them.
Yeah,
I liked your
might be
little
too
segment
much.
you did on Dillinger's the other day too, where you're like, you played I forgot the song. I just heard it
Sugar-Coated
today.
Sour.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yes.
this takes me back to 1999. I'm like, man, that's the power of music, man.
It was only just, regular bands. Like, bands sounded like bands. And then I remember the dude playing Dillinger, and it didn't sound like a band. It was just chaos from beginning to end, and somehow everyone was playing together. And that was my first like mathcore experience. I couldn't believe, I still can't believe how, you know, Ben Wyman, like genius.
Greg Puciato.
Greg,
genius.
Dimitri, the original vocalist.
Yeah. Mike Patton.
Yeah. It's just incredible that they made that happen. I was at those last 3 Dillinger shows. Dillinger are like top 3 band for me. 100%. Might be my number 1 band.
In the picture that I have with you, I'm wearing this shirt and you're wearing a Dillinger shirt.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Very cool. I don't even know if I have that Dillinger shirt anymore. It's probably in the bin.
It's a quilt now.
I got one just like it. It's a Party Smasher Inc. one. But
Cool. Yeah, I love Dillinger. They were the best.
Yeah. They're gonna live on. They're one of those few bands that doesn't have a hiccup in their discography.
Yeah.
And they quit on top, which is, you know.
I want them to come back.
Hopefully. Never know.
It's gonna be bad for every other band when they do.
Huh? Do you have a rec or what?
What's up?
Recommendation for the week?
Yeah.
Man, what am I? I'm gonna just recommend the Phobophilic album, dude. I've been playing that so much. It's like, because, you know, a lot of the death metal I like is a little more caveman death metal.
Yeah.
Shall I say? And I feel like this is very, very intricate in like the thinking man death metal.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
What about you, Razor?
Recommendation at the end?
Yeah, we usually do.
Cool.
What about you, Razor?
You know what, man? Sometimes you got to throw people into the deep end. And today on the way home from work, I was listening to "Eaten" by Bloodbath, and you told me, you're like, this is possibly the catchiest death metal song of all time. And yeah, after listening to it for the 100th time on the way home, I'm like, this. You got to throw people in the deep end. Fucking "Eaten" by Bloodbath, 100%.
What about you, Brad? What's your rec?
Well, late at night at my job, I've been scaring people in the showroom and playing 200 stab wounds. So I got to go with some toe rope around the throat.
Hell yeah.
Nastiness. Well, thank you so much, Shawn. Like, I can't tell you how much it means to us. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope to run into you at a show down the road, you know.
In California, when I come out to the West Coast. You're all
Yes,
on
sir.
the West Coast.
We're all West
We're all
Coast.
in the same area.
Cool. Or hit me up when you guys come to the East Coast for whatever reason you're coming out to this shithole.
Hell
One
yeah.
day, hopefully.
Yeah,
Hey, that's
I
where all
wanna
the
go
good
to New
shows
York.
happen. Is the East
Yeah,
Coast.
I mean, I don't go to Manhattan much, and everything pops off in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is
Okay,
where all
that's
the cool shit
Vitus is
go.
where
Vitus
That's
is
where I
our
wanna go.
CBGBs. Yeah, what I gotta do, you gotta come to Amityville Music Hall in Long Island because that's the Vitus of, I guess, the further east part. Yeah. But Amityville Music Hall, like it's a 200-person venue. Just the best shows I've ever seen have been at that spot. I love those are the venues I love. Those small, no barricade, just really ridiculous small shows. Those are the best.
Hell yeah.
I hope we make it out there pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know if I come out there. Definitely. We'll hit up Gorilla Mall. Are you far from Gorilla Mall?
We're pretty far, but
we'll
that's one of my
we'll
favorite
make
places to eat. So yeah.
Yeah. I got to get a burger named after me there. That's my next goal.
You got the sandwich, so
I got the
it's
sandwich.
coming.
Shout out to Mission Sandwich. Go get that Hail Shawn Mecca gigantic burger. It's their biggest sandwich yet.
Jump in the fry, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And Brad, if you want to hit the plugs, then we're good.
Yeah, man. Thank you to Shawn. Thank you for everyone listening. Please like and subscribe as we try to just spread the love of metal here. And we could also watch me and Al every week on Crooks and Books podcast as we try to give you the locks in the NFL as the NFL goes on. The biggest drama in the world. So just everyone, thank you for watching. It really means a lot.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys. Thanks everybody. Thanks
Shawn.
Hey, thank you, Shawn.
Much love.
We appreciate it, man.
Are we disconnecting or are we going to talk? We could talk a little bit after.
We can talk.